You know, life has a way of putting you at a crossroads where you've only got two choices. You either break down or you become so strong that absolutely nothing can stop you. And here's the secret. That strength, it's already inside you. It's in every single one of us. It's just waiting for you to wake it up. So together, that's what we're going to do. We're going to unlock the power of focusing on you until you win.
Okay, let's just dive right in with this massive idea. The second you truly recognize your own potential, you become unstoppable. And hey, this isn't about being a threat to other people. It's about becoming a force for your own life. A person who just can't be held back by doubt or what's going on around them. Let's figure out how you find that power.
Does any of this sound familiar? Maybe you're feeling stuck or just totally exhausted. Or maybe you're just sick and tired of hitting the same wall over and over again. If that's you, then you are in exactly the right place. Because this isn't just another motivational speech. This is a blueprint for changing not just what you do, but the way you think.
I want you to think of the next few minutes as a real turning point. We're about to start a journey together to completely reframe how you look at challenges, turning that struggle into a path that leads to your inevitable victory. Let's get started.
Imagine this. What if you improved yourself by just 1% every single day? It sounds tiny, right? Almost insignificant, but over 365 days, that tiny, consistent effort, it compounds into a massive, incredible transformation. This is the whole secret to focusing on yourself. Small, daily wins lead to a version of you that you won't even recognize a year from now. So where do we even begin with that 1% improvement? Well, it all starts with the most important first step on any journey to victory, getting honest and really knowing yourself. I'm talking about deep self-recognition. Every huge change in life begins the moment you start to understand who you really are, not just the person you show to the world.
Inside every single one of us, it's like there are two voices constantly battling it out. You've got the quitter, who's always looking for the nearest exit as soon as things get a little tough. But then you have the learner. The learner gets knocked down, figures out why, and gets right back up, but stronger. Your victory, it literally depends on which of these two you decide to listen to more often.
Let's just pause on this question for a second, because this is at the heart of everything. We spend so much of our lives worrying about what other people think, but honestly, the world's opinion doesn't matter. What truly deeply matters is the value you give to yourself. When you know your own worth, what other people think just becomes noise.
All right, so once you start to really know yourself, the next step is to build a clear path forward. This means figuring out exactly where you're going, and just as important, cutting out everything that's trying to pull you off that path. See, your growth is always under attack from three main types of distractions. First, you've got the doubters, the people who question everything you do and plant little seeds of insecurity. Then there are the emotional triggers, those situations that just drain your energy and pull you back into old bad habits. And finally, the big one, the time wasters, like just mindlessly scrolling that give you absolutely nothing back. Protecting your focus means you have to actively put some distance between you and these things. And this leads us to a fundamental truth of life, really. Your life moves in the direction of your focus. It's that simple. If you focus on your goals, you move towards them. If you focus on negativity, drama, or comparing yourself to others, well, your life will be controlled by that. Your focus is your choice, and that choice decides your destiny.
So, how do you actually build that kind of focus? It's all about having clear goals. And don't just think about them. First, you've got to write them down. When you write a goal down, it's like a command to your brain. Second, visualize it with emotion. Really feel what it's like to have already achieved it. That emotional connection is what's going to pull you through when it gets hard. And third, break that huge dream down into tiny, daily steps. That's how you make any goal feel possible.
Okay, so now we have a direction, a map. But a car with a destination is pretty useless without fuel, right? Well, the fuel for your journey is action. And, maybe surprisingly, failure. These two things are the engine that's going to drive your progress.
Oh man, we all know these excuses, don't we? I just don't have the time. I don't have the money for that. The circumstances just aren't right. They sound like real reasons, but let's be honest with ourselves. They're just walls. Walls that we build around ourselves. They are stories we tell ourselves to avoid the discomfort of actually taking action. Think about it this way. Every single moment you spend looking for an excuse is a moment you could have spent grabbing an opportunity. The two mindsets just can't exist at the same time. You're either looking for reasons why you can, or you're looking for reasons why you can't. Action is the ultimate antidote to fear. Fear loves it when you do nothing. The more you sit around and wait and overthink, the bigger and scarier it gets in your mind. But the second you take one small step, any step at all, you start to break it apart. Action, even if it's messy and imperfect, is the most powerful weapon you have against fear. Your first step doesn't need to be perfect. It just has to happen.
And so what happens when you take that action and you fail? Good. That's great, actually. Failure is not the end. It's just data. The faster you fail, the faster you learn what doesn't work. The faster you learn, the faster you can adjust your plan and get back up. The most successful people in the world aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who fail, learn, and rise the fastest.
So, taking action gets you started, but what's going to keep you going on that long, hard road to victory? Well, long-term momentum is built on two things: the incredible power of consistency and an unshakable belief in yourself. We've all seen this, right? The people who go crazy at the gym for 1 week in January and then they just disappear. That's intensity, and it almost never leads to real progress. True, lasting success comes from consistency. It's not about one heroic, exhausting effort. It's about just showing up and putting in a little bit of work every single day, especially on the days you don't feel like it.
Think about it like this. A river is not stronger than a mountain, but by flowing continuously, day after day, year after year, it carves its way through any obstacle. Your small daily actions, that's your river. Be persistent, and you can get through any mountain in your path.
And the foundation for all of this, the consistency, the action, the focus, is your self-confidence. You can have the perfect plan, you can have the best work ethic in the world, but if you don't believe deep down that you deserve to win, you will find a way to sabotage yourself. Your inner world creates your outer world. Victory is an inside job first.
So, we've covered the path, the fuel, and the power. But here's the thing. Knowledge only becomes power when you actually use it. So now the focus shifts completely to you and the decision you're facing right at this very moment. Ultimately, it all boils down to this one simple but really tough choice. One path is familiar and it's comfortable, but it doesn't lead anywhere new. The other path, it's challenging. It demands everything from you, but it leads straight to your goals. You can't have both. The choice is yours. Which one are you going to choose?
So let's end with the one big idea from this entire explainer. Stop looking left and right. Stop comparing your journey to someone else's. Put your head down, do the work, and focus only on your own growth. If you do that consistently, then victory isn't just a possibility. It becomes an inevitability. Now, it's your turn. Go win.